Hi everyone, Anthony Fantano here, internet's busiest music nerd, you know who it is. And I'm doing a quickie review here of an up-and-coming New York rapper who goes by the name of Lou the Human. This dude, I hyped him up a little while back on my Best Worst Tracks segment a couple of times, talking about some of the new tracks and music videos he had been releasing were really good. And I like this guy's very dark, tortured rap style. It's not like horrorcore or anything like that, though it's certainly like kind of flirting with that idea. The dude has a new project out. It's titled Humaniac. It's got 10 tracks on it. It's a pretty tight, no BS project. And he really does kind of wear his influences on his sleeve. He does sound like a young artist who's still trying to come into his own sound. He seems hugely inspired by the lyrics and the flows and the musical styles of guys like Eminem or Earl Sweatshirt especially. Some tracks on here, he almost seems like a dead ringer for Earl. Quasimodo as well. I would also, extend the comparison to Tyler, the Creator, as long as we're sort of making odd future name drops here. And although I will say, more than a lot of Tyler's early work, Lou does have an incredible amount of proficiency when it comes to lyricism and flow. Like, he is a little bit of a rapper's rapper, I would say. Obviously not the most technical guy you're ever going to hear, but he certainly, is a bit of a breath of fresh air in this age of mumble rap, especially considering that, he is lyrical, but he's also kind of grimy and aggressive too. It's not like completely heady hip-hop music. There's something kind of weird and warped and sad and depressing about it too, which is kind of par of the emotional course for a lot of newer hip-hop out there today that takes a bit of a moody tone. I will say there are some things holding this project back though, like Lou's influences being so blatantly apparent that it can be distracting occasionally. I think there could have been a bit more emotional variety in the track listing, some tracks that went a little harder or tracks that were a little bit catchier, just to bring just break these tracks up a little bit more, because it does seem all a little one note as far as tone and as far as just the mood of the entire project. Also, while I do like the concept of voices in his head and sort of this schizophrenic angle that he's kind of playing at with some of these tracks, there are occasions on here where he plays up to it so heavily that the voices get distracting. I think they sort of, become a bit of a gimmick and take away from the raw talent that should really be the selling point of the entire project. It just kind of seems like he has a little ways to go, but there's tons of potential here. There are a lot of good tracks on here. There are some hilariously smart and wickedly dark instances of wordplay on this thing that I think are, some of the best I've heard this year. It's just that, it sounds like a starter project. It sounds like a starter tape or a starter album. But it seems like Lou, because of his talent, is starting at a higher grade than a lot of artists do. He didn't need a team of super producers to come in and make this thing sound great. If there were some other producers out there or, who he could work with that are on maybe a bit higher level or something, or, put more time into his sound craft or just develop his sound a bit more, because some of the tracks on here seemed a little old, like maybe from 2016 or something. I would love to sort of hear where he would go from here, because I am routinely impressed by some of the newest songs on this project. I'm going to leave it at that. Screw a score on this thing. I'm telling you guys to check this kid out. He has lots of potential. I think that if he keeps dropping music and he keeps growing and he keeps progressing, he does have a future. And I'm kind of excited to see that future unfold. I'm going to leave it at that. Looking forward to hearing more music from this dude. I generally enjoyed this tape. It's just far from a perfect project, and he's far from a fully developed artist. But it definitely seems like he's going in that direction. He certainly pointed in that direction. And that's what I like to see. That's what I like to hear. Let me know what you guys think down in the description box. If you gave this thing a listen, did you love it? Did you hate it? Why? And what do you think I should review next? Over here next to my head is another review that you should check out, or click on the link to subscribe to the channel. I'll see you in the next one. Forever.